What Remains of Edith Finch, Part 2. So last we left off, there was a shark. Hopefully...
I grew up looking at Molly's room through the peephole. Molly's gerbil had a tiny bedroom with its own even tinier gerbil cage.
Oh... I remember now. I might actually have to do this.
December 13th, 1947. Dear Diary, I'll be gone soon, but I wanted to tell somebody about what's gonna happen. It started when Mom sent me to bed without dinner. I woke up and I was starving, so I looked around for something to eat. The gerbil food was dry, but I didn't mind it. I thought about eating Christopher, but I held back.
I already played this part, but I don't remember where to go from here. Oh, the door?
Mom, can I come out now?
Sweetheart, it's late. Go to sleep.
Oh, it's a two-face.
I kept eating and eating.
Ew.
I ate a lot of things that night.
Ew. I don't know if I would be doing that. It's kind of gross. Let's rename this. Part 2.
Then I heard chirping outside my window. It was a barn swallow going back to her nest. I reached out for her.
And I turned into a...
And suddenly... I was a cat. I tried to be quiet, but the bird was really scared.
This part isn't as tough as before, though, since I've done it already. I just gotta get to the shark part, and then we can continue on from where we left off.
Mom and Dad didn't even look at me.
Oh, I'm gonna get stuck again.
I jumped and I almost got her.
Back on the table, right? So it's on the
I could
table.
tell she was getting really tired.
Alright, do I get up on here?
Now I was up in the big tree. I promised Dad I wouldn't climb it anymore. All I cared about was eating that mama bird.
You gotta eat, I guess.
I gobbled her up. And suddenly, I was an owl.
Alright.
First, all I heard was the wind. Then I heard little teeth nibbling in the grass. Rabbits.
Rabbits. Where's the rabbit? Rabbit, rabbit, rabbit.
I imagined his face
No, I
looking
don't
up and
wanna.
seeing mine through my talons.
No! Stop it.
I swallowed him up, and I didn't chew one bit. Then I flew off to find something.
Nothing remains? Actually, I don't know. I mean,
A mama rabbit.
her diary is pretty much about other family members in her life, but I'm not really sure. I just can't. Oh, a mama rabbit. I just had to remember where I left off. It was a shark.
She was almost too big to carry. I started choking, but I couldn't stop eating.
Nothing will make another rabbit. That's
And
for sure.
suddenly, I was a shark.
There we go. Does that make sense? I'm a loon shark. I look like an inflatable shark.
I rolled off a cliff and into the ocean. Now,
Alright,
I
there
was
we go.
hungrier than ever.
But I don't want to eat this thing. Where is it? Down here? I just lost track of it. Where'd you go? I just lost track. Oh, there it is. You fish out of water as it seems. Yeah? There we go. Figure out how to go down. Alright, down, down, down.
I wanted fat, juicy seals.
Oh, that's the trees and grass. No!
I tore off her flipper, and it tasted really good.
I don't like that. I just gotta find the blood trail, I guess. Oh, right there. There you are.
I grabbed on tight. But I was so hungry, I jumped out of the water. When I opened my eyes, everything had changed.
Why are you called? When I thought of my name, the first one I had a name. It was a little bit longer.
Now I was a monster.
It was really
and
hard
I
to
smelled
find.
people everywhere.
But this one's unique, and not everybody has it. So I figured I would go unique.
was big, but I
Hardcore.
moved real quiet.
Oh no, I just wanted something unique.
I wanted to stop, but also I didn't.
As unique as I could come up with. That's awesome, thank you. I appreciate the sub all day long. The mic is low? Alright, let me see if I can change it. Okay. See, it's on. Hopefully that's a little bit better. I was using the original headset mic that came with the PlayStation. Just because it was easier to work with and it was functional right now. Okay, cool. So now I have a physical pair of headset. Physical headset. Which I need to get myself a better headset pretty soon. They cost a lot of money. I also say it's hot.
Passenger, I was still hungry. And across the water, I smelled something new. Something I had to have, so I swam towards it. I slithered onto the sand, and the good smell went into an old pipe.
Sand. Into the pipe.
I got closer and closer.
Alright. We're back in my bedroom.
All of my stomach started growling.
All of your stomachs.
And suddenly, I was me again. I held my breath for a long time, but I couldn't hear anything. I think it's waiting for me to fall asleep. But it's not going to wait much longer. It needs to be, and we both know I will be delicious.
That's weird. Thanks for the sub, little dino. Much appreciated. Now I'm 18. 18 subs. Cool beans.
I'm not sure if I believed all of that, but I'm sure Edie would have.
He was right. He was definitely right.
This will be obvious later, but my mom never told me any of these stories. Edie would have, but Mom didn't like bringing up the past. Though, when we adopted a stray kitten, she was the one who named it Molly.
To catch
I spent a
everybody
lot
up
of time in Great-Grandma Edie's room.
to date, Edie is great-grandma. I'm playing as Edith.
Her room is like a museum.
Dawn is her mom's name.
For 500 years, the Finches have been famous throughout Norway for their fortune. Odin Finch buries the latest victims of the family curse, his wife Ingeborg and their newborn son, Johan.
That's sad.
On January 7th, 1937, he set sail with his family and his house, hoping to leave the curse behind. But 40-foot waves off the coast of Washington send the house and Odin to the bottom of the sea. Odin's daughter Edie, with husband Sven and baby Molly, step ashore on their new home, Orcas Island. Odin Finch is the first to be buried in the new family cemetery. His daughter Edie is already dreaming of a new Finch house.
Yeah, so Edie's the great grandma in the picture.
Whatever's wrong with this family, it goes back a long ways.
Couldn't tell you what's wrong with the family. All of the things they do are particularly weird. So.
Louis died a week before we left, but Edie had already started to memorialize him. Edie knit me a new pair of gloves every year, just in time to replace the old ones.
Like the one she's wearing right now.
When Edie told people Sven was killed by a dragon, she could also have said he was building a dragon-shaped slide that collapsed. She could have, but she didn't.
There's his dragon. Oh, I see it. I see.
Even in her 90s, sometimes Edie seemed a lot younger than my mother.
She seemed a lot cooler than your mother, too. What is this bathroom? And
The only
why
trace
is it
Grandpa Sam's
here?
first wife Kay left on the house was the pink bathroom. It was a pretty big trace.
No, not at all. Not at all. Because the pink
There's a secret in this bathroom.
isn't weird.
It's in the last place you would
It
look.
is odd.
It isn't in the cupboard.
The only thing is, when it comes
It's
to
hidden in this book.
certain games, like I can't play Call of Duty. I don't know if I can play multiplayer online and stream it, but I can't stream Call of Duty Zombies because Activision will want me to pay them for the content that I put. So, and I figured if I started this game already, then I can keep going with it. See it to the end, I guess. See it to the end.
I knew Grandpa Sam had a twin, and that he never talked about him.
Do you guys want to see anything else? I have Until Dawn, Batman.
I guess my grandpa didn't like history any more than my mom did.
Days Gone. I haven't finished that yet.
How I Want to Remember My Brother by Sam Finch. The thing I remember is that when he made up his mind, that was it. My brother said he'd die before he ate another mushroom. And he did. At Barbara's funeral, we swore we'd never be afraid again.
Okay.
And he wasn't. I think Calvin always wanted to fly.
Sam! Calvin! Dinner's ready! Coming!
But that day, he finally made up his mind to do it.
I can't.
I told him going around was impossible.
This needs to go
Maybe
fast.
if I hadn't said that.
Calvin! I'm not gonna tell you again!
Maybe if the wind hadn't picked up. Then maybe he'd still be here. But I doubt it. I think he'd already made up his mind. That's what I want to remember about my brother.
So he swung too high. And he made me nauseous. Super duper nauseous.
The day he made up his mind to fly. And he did.
No thank you.
Calvin's story felt strangely familiar. When I was younger, I remember trying to do the exact same
I
thing.
don't like that. I don't like that. No, no, no. Loop-de-loop. Yeah, the loop-de-loop made me sick.
After the funeral, Edie roped off Calvin's half of the room.
Oh, and she's also pregnant, too.
Mom said Grandpa Sam enlisted at 18 and never set foot in the room again.
She's pregnant. So, all the climbing and stairs she's doing. Yes, a lot of them, actually. If you watch, I'll put a link part 1 to this, but if you see, a lot of them did kill themselves. Like, it's a common trend in this game that they just kill themselves. Or are just super reckless and do whatever it is they want to do, and then I don't know. I mean, the recklessness is pretty intense in this. All right. Can't remember. Oh, here. This way, this way, this way, this way. My stream off here.
The passages were a pretty tight fit. They'd obviously been built for smaller hands and bellies.
Definitely. Have you played Hello Neighbor? Or seen the beta or anything for Hello Neighbor? Let me see if I can go outside and show you. That's kind of the size of this house, because it has all the weird add-ons like Hello Neighbor had to it. So that's kind of what you're looking at in this house. Uh-oh. Yeah, because there's just random rooms everywhere. Like, super duper random that you wouldn't expect to see. And I kind of lost where I was going. But then again, I did that. I did that yesterday. A lot. It's because it's such a big house that I'm... Oh, down here. Alright, so then...
Growing up, I always thought of Barbara as a child star. I never thought about how hard it must have been for her afterwards.
Alright, I'm back. Bedtime routine over the summer is so fun. So fun. Okay, so this is Barbara Finch.
Of all the stories people wrote about Barbara's death, I'm surprised Edie saved this one.
Old Jack here with another ghastly tale inspired by America's most unfortunate family. I'm calling it The Surprise Ending of Barbara Finch. As a child star, Barbara was famous for her scream.
Violet or Elastigirl?
Now at 16, she was all washed up. A has-been. But in a lucky break, she'd been asked to perform her signature scream at a local convention for monster movie fans. It was just the boost her career needed. Unfortunately, her scream hadn't aged well.
Violet? Oh.
Getting better. I think you just need the
Because
right
we've
motivation.
seen all of The
Her
Incredibles.
biggest fan, and
My kiddos are a
current
big fan of
boyfriend,
it.
Rick was about to demonstrate when...
Now that was a great scream.
It was Barbara's father, Sven. He'd slipped into a table saw and had to be rushed to the emergency room. So Barbara got stuck babysitting her youngest brother, Walter. Her convention comeback was cancelled.
Okay, I'm hearing frustration, but I'm not hearing terror. What if I tried...
A gang of hoodlums in Halloween masks have been terrorizing Orcas Island tonight. Police are urging residents to...
That came from the basement.
You're right! Also, I loved your delivery on that. Why is your basement door locked?
Right.
Because my dad likes making puzzles and secret passages. There's a key hidden in the music box. The secret is to keep winding and winding until finally the key pops out.
Thanks, babe. I'll be back in a sec.
20 minutes later, Rick hadn't returned. So Barbara went to look for him, right on cue. She reached for the music box. And as she wound the key, she listened for Rick, but the house was silent.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
Rick?
Barb, relax. I was just trying to scare you to help you find your screen.
I broke your
I'm not
nose.
scared, Rick. I'm furious.
Then act furious. All I'm getting from you now is that you're hurt and confused and you...
She threw him out, but she kept a little something to remember him by.
Barb, have you seen my other crutch?
And
I
she was
don't
still
know
holding
what
it
is.
when she fell asleep.
I've been trying to figure out the
late
premise of this story
picture show.
behind the fact that
Hours
there's
later.
only one Finch left.
Barbara! Walter? What's
But
going
that's
on up
definitely a
there?
common theme
Ah!
in this.
Okay, I'm coming up.
I don't know.
This is a trick. You're dead, Walter.
I just hit the door. Probably not the best thing.
Molly's door hadn't been opened in years. The hinges groaned.
Oh,
Wasn't
shoot.
moving, but she sensed the story might not be over yet.
can't be dead yet. That's not how this works. You fell from the stairs and then...
But all she heard was...
the front door. Stranger danger. I'm going to the door.
Dying to speak to young Barbara. At the door, she heard whispering.
Wouldn't that be quite the twist?
It was coming from inside the house.
Oh dear.
Oh dear.
The monsters had come to surprise her. For Barbara, it was a dream come true. Then she saw what kind of monsters they were, and she realized what was about to happen. She was going to be famous. And with her final breath, Barbara Finch gave the performance of her life. I wasn't there myself, but I hear Barbara was magnificent.
Well,
Poor girl. She had a taste for stardom. But unfortunately, so did her fans. Of course, the police blamed it all on poor Rick, who disappeared the same night. And little Walter? Hiding under his bed the whole time. He took it all.
maybe he wasn't the killer.
But that's another story. As for Barbara, tucked inside the music box is all they ever found of her. Her ear.
It's like a case of
Now that's what I call a
things
real
called The Stranger.
eerie tale.
I can't remember what the movie's called. But there's a babysitter and a stalker comes to find the
Edie told me all Barbara
babysitter.
wanted was to be remembered, as absurd as that comic was. Maybe what Edie saw was a happy ending.
I don't know if you could call that a happy ending, though. I don't know how happy of an ending that party was. I don't see anything else. That's right, all the doors are blocked in.
I guess now I know why Mom didn't like me playing with the music box.
'Cause there was an ear in it. Can't go up there. I already went this way. So maybe I have to go
It's
to the
funny.
music box.
All those times I played with the music box and never found the basement key.
Yep, should have known. Alright, let's go to the music box. Music box, music box. Which is this way. Then we're gonna go like this. And then you might have to unplug this thingy. Just Ben.
Mom said the basement was off limits, unless I wanted another tetanus shot.
I can see that.
I saw Edie sneak down to the basement once, carrying packages. I thought maybe she was hiding presents. It turned out she was hiding a lot more than that.
What more could you hide?
I remember asking Mom once about where Walter had gone. She said after Barbara died, he got as far away as he could.
Underground. At least we know he could survive for as long as he
needed to. There's a pattern in all these stories. I think it's that none of us has gotten very far.
Yes, something unfortunate has always happened to them. It seems like.
Goodbye, everyone. I can't believe I've been down here for 30 years. On that first day, after the shaking started, I didn't think I'd survive the week.
Controller is going crazy.
But after a few days, I settled into a routine. That's what kept me sane. Having a schedule, living for today. I always expected to be dead tomorrow.
By eating peaches?
But if you wait long enough, you get used to anything.
Controller.
Even a monster on the other side of the door starts to feel normal. Almost friendly.
This doesn't feel like a monster, though.
And then one day, everything just stopped.
If he's underground,
Whatever
he has
that
to
thing
be
was,
above something.
it was gone. Maybe it got tired of waiting. Or maybe
I don't think
just
it would
got
either.
tired of being afraid.
I'm with you.
It's been a week now, the longest
I don't
in
think it
30
would either.
years. I'm done waiting. I have
I'm
to
also
leave.
thinking that he wouldn't
Well, I
want to
still
just
can.
eat peaches. Not just peaches, but with all that other food in there. A variety of food. Still in there, too. Yeah, he could add so much more food than just peaches.
I know it's out there somewhere. Whatever killed Barbara and Molly. And Calvin. Maybe this is all a mistake. But I need to stop living the same day, even if it kills me. Whatever's out there,
The monster
to
is a
know
train.
I'm ready for it. I'm going to appreciate all of it, especially the food. I don't mind if I only have a
Can I
year
get off the train track, though?
or a month.
Is
or
that a
single
possibility?
week. I'd be happy with one new day. I can
No,
already
you
imagine the
automatically go
sun.
on the train track yourself. The monster was a train.
Walter died when I was 6. I can't believe my mom never told me he was down here.
That would make sense, though, with all the rumbling.
I'm sure my mom was trying to protect me.
So Molly and everybody else got hit by a train? Or they wandered too far? Yeah. Trains are the real monsters. Yeah. That's what I'm assuming. Trains are cool when you don't stand on the tracks, though. Just saying. If you're smart enough not to get on the track, then I think you'll be fine. What happened? I froze. Thing it frozen. I hear sounds. Nope, I just got stuck. I was not paying any attention to what I was doing. Where do I go? Oh, I have to go, I'm assuming I have to go up to the train tracks, which that means I'd have to go back and go down here. That would make sense, because it's just like the story. Let me check.
Maybe she was afraid I'd end up like Walter.
2017 is when it came out. So 2 years old?
But if she never told me about an uncle under the house, I can only imagine what else she was hiding. I don't want to make the same mistakes she made. Trying to bury something that's still alive.
Can't bury the past, though.
Now that there's only one of us left, or maybe 2, I thought it was time I heard the stories for myself.
2. Look at my belly.
And found out what happened to everyone else. But now I'm worried the stories themselves might be the problem.
So this game is fairly new. I mean,
maybe we believed so much in a family curse, we made it real.
– 2005. And the train track just stops.
I don't know if I should even be writing this.
Down we go.
Maybe it'd be better if all this just died with me.
You can't say that.
But I thought you should know about your family.
It's one heck of a family tree.
And the history you're a part of.
One
Though,
heck
to be
of
honest,
a
I feel as lost as you probably do right now. I think the people in these stories believed them, for what that's worth. And when you look at the house,
Oh,
That
you can get a
history
view of the house
imagination
now.
and stubbornness and madness. Any of it seems possible.
Right, so here's the house. It's basically just lots of, looks like add-ons to it. From, yeah, just add-ons to it. That's as far as I can go to show you most of it, though. Unless I go this way.
I think
But,
we've
yeah.
been surrounded by death for so long, we've just gotten used to it. What kind of family finishes building a cemetery before starting the house?
Let's see. I wonder if you can see it better from the cemetery.
It's embarrassing for me to admit this, but the pet cemetery may be more uncomfortable than the human one. 3 of the gerbils are mine.
Oh, yeah,
2
you
had
can
been my
see it.
fault.
I'll show you the cemetery. There
Sven
we go.
built the house, but it was Edie who designed the cemetery.
So here's kind of a gist of what it looks like. There's some trees in the way, but it's pretty big. It's a good size. Bob, Oliver, Shadow, Christopher. Christopher was the goldfish. One of them is a hamster, I think. Or a gerbil. Molly's gerbil. Lucy. Derpy. Derpy Jr. Burpy. Chirpy, Furpy, Lurpy, and Zerpy. Daisy, Tucker, Coco, Zoe. Right, so Molly's the daughter. Calvin was one of the brothers. Or Molly was the sister. Calvin was one of the brothers. Sven, Edie, Walter. There's a lot of detail in those. Barbara. She's a star on hers. So 1960, 2005, 2010, 1964, 1961, 1947. An interesting family timeline, though.
I'm sure Odin's monument had been Edie's idea. My mom was always trying to move on, but for Edie, the past never went away.
I think this is what happened to their first house. It got sunk.
She could see it poking out of the water at low tide.
Right there.
Edie said she dreamed about the old house every night.
Wow. It's pretty cool, though. Not that the house is stuck in there, but... Alright, where do I go now?
Edie's side was always easier for me to understand. But the older I get, the more I can see where my mom was coming from.
Oh, we have Gregory.
Her dad had been
Sam.
pretty strict, but it wasn't enough to save her brothers. She was just trying to do better.
Gus. 1977, 1983, 1982.
She lost 2 of her brothers, just like I did. I get why she tried so
Milton,
hard to
who went
protect us.
missing. If I remember correctly, they just couldn't find his body.
We never found Milton's body, so my mom insisted we were putting up a monument, not a tombstone.
Makes sense. Sanjay, which is her dad from from episode 1. And Lewis.
There's so many things I wish I could ask my mom now. Part of me thinks this is what she wanted all along. For me to come back someday and find everything out for myself. But looking back on it now, if she told me there was going to be so much climbing, I never would have come when I was 22 weeks pregnant.
That's a bad idea. That's a bad idea. The branch is gonna fall. Ooh. Lucky duck you. Bless you. You're welcome.
I never met Grandpa Sam, but I think he and my mom had a lot in common.
Just opens the door.
They were both pretty intense.
Ooh, bear rug. Cute, cute.
Dawn, I promise, you'll never forget this weekend.
Yes, sir.
These memories are gonna last a lifetime.
Hmm?
At least
Perfect.
be more
I'm
enthusiastic.
gonna have to shoot anything. It's gonna rain the whole weekend, isn't it? I will never forget this weekend, Dad.
Put the
That's
book
the
down.
spirit. Okay, got it.
I'm gonna take some pictures, okay?
Just be careful. That camera's older than you are.
Okay.
You're right, Dad. It's starting to clear up.
Birdie.
Still freezing, though.
A birdie.
Aw.
Where'd he go? No? Not that way?
Definitely should not have drunk all that coffee.
Hold
Say
still on.
cheese,
Hey.
Dad.
That's a keeper.
Say cheese.
I'm just saying, I'm not always gonna be here, Dawn. You'll need to remember this stuff if you want to
Fishing
survive.
poles,
I'll
maybe.
be fine, Dad.
You know who else thought he was gonna be fine?
Some guy who died.
Dawn.
Dad!
Good eyes, Dawn.
This can't be a good sign. Taking a picture of a deer.
Before you take the shot, let me get a picture of you.
Why? It's quite fuzzy.
Dad,
I don't want to do
breathe.
this.
Turn off your imagination. Focus on the target.
I'm over here, Dad.
Let me get behind you.
I know how this is
Do
going
I
to end.
have to do this?
Dawn, you don't have to do anything. Great shot, Dawn!
Oh. No.
I'm proud of you, Dawn. Always remember that, okay?
Yeah.
It's twitching. I think
That's
it's
totally normal, Don. Just focus on the camera. Try not to think about...
Dad! Oh, karma. Instant karma, and you got a picture of that too. I wouldn't shoot it. I don't think she wanted to in the first place.
That's the one I wish most that my mom had told me.
It's alright. Dad got his karma.
Sam spent his life shooting photos, but Mom said he got nervous.
Dad got his karma.
Camera. I guess we're all afraid of something.
Dad got the karma. She didn't want to do it. I feel so bad. She didn't want to shoot the animal.
After Sam died, my mom and Edie got really close. They'd both lost a lot.
Oh, it's a baby. Oh. Divorce contract.
Dear Kay, do you remember the way Gregory used to laugh when he thought he was alone? Like something funny was happening, but only he could see it.
Water, baby, bathtub.
Send over Gregory, it's time to...
Ma, don't answer the phone, Ma. No, Ma, don't answer the phone.
Hello?
Nope.
Sam, I told you I don't want to talk right now.
Wait, come back.
If I hadn't called that night.
Wait, come back. Damn it. No, wait.
Hold on, I don't want Gregory to hear this.
I wish he could have told us
Oh, no.
about the world he saw.
No, 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 stop the water, stop the water, stop the water. Stop the water.
There's so much I don't understand. About Gregory.
No, Dad, it's not your fault.
About everything.
No, it's not the dad's fault. It's the mom's fault. Because she answered the phone.
But I know what happened wasn't her
She
fault.
shouldn't have answered the phone.
I'm sure
She should have just let it ring and then... don't know if I was a...
Love, Sam.
I wouldn't be that nice about that. He had his whole life ahead of him. She decided to answer the phone. Now I'm gonna climb up a wall. 22
My
weeks
mom moved
pregnant.
up to the loft after her brothers died.
It's a great idea.
At the time, it was as far away as she could get.
Great plan.
I can't imagine what it was like for her to lose 2 sons after she'd already lost 2 brothers. She spent a summer building houses in Calcutta, where she met my dad, Sanjay.
Sanjay. Yes, that's right. He's dad. Remember hearing the name before. Is there anything else in here? Yeah.
Religion was another thing my mom never talked about, but I think it helped her a lot after her dad died.
Makes sense. Could be comforting.
My mom moved to India a week after graduation and got a job teaching English. Louis was born a year later.
It's pretty cool.
When my dad died, I don't think Mom knew where else to go. I'm sure Edie was happy to have her back.
Okay. Thank you for watching, though.
The house had to get a little bigger, but Edie was used to that. And for a while, things were good. Almost normal.
Miss Finch. Louis rules.
But it didn't last. The beginning of the end was Milton's 10th birthday, when Edie gave him a castle.
This is the very top of the house. King's view up here. Looks like a lighthouse, though.
Milton Finch in The Magic Paintbrush.
Let's open it. Whoa, I like the flip book. She wouldn't. Realistically, you wouldn't be able to climb anything with the belly in the way. If we're being realistic here, that's what.
I was 4 when Milton disappeared.
Yeah, realistically, no. No, no, no. No, no, no.
Mom spent months searching for my brother. Then she sealed the doors.
I don't know if sealing the doors is gonna...
Whatever Milton had found in the house, Mom didn't want it getting out.
Excuse me. I need the music to stop. I'm gonna get demonetized. Actually, I did one the other day and I didn't get an email for it. Good night.
Mom
Thank you for
definitely
watching.
blamed Edie, but I think Lewis blamed himself. After he graduated, he just spent more and more time in his room.
Have a good night.
Until Mom got him a job at the cannery.
Oh. Not this one. Quite a bedroom he had.
Lewis's room smelled very, very familiar. That part of him lived on.
Why am I not surprised?
Lewis and I spent a lot of time playing games together, but he was surprisingly bad at them. He died a lot.
Dear Mrs. Finch, as Lewis's psychiatrist, I can understand your desire for an explanation. As I see it, the trouble began in January, shortly after we convinced your son to seek treatment for substance abuse. Newly sober, I believe Lewis first noticed the monotony of his daily life. He kept working at the cannery, but he withdrew part of himself. In our sessions, I saw the same behavior. His mind began to wander. I asked him to describe it. He said he started small, imagining a labyrinth. He'd feel his way about. Then something moved. Bats. And toads. And things that have not names. He knew it was all in his head. But he took it very seriously. I had hoped he'd find himself. But he found something more. I worried about him then. Daydreaming at the cannery.
This way.
I spoke with his boss. But he said Lewis had become a model employee. Methodical, tireless, focused. Like a whole new Lewis. So I let him go on. I even encouraged him.
Sleep.
It seemed very promising at first. He told me he'd made a new friend. On the edge of a city he named Lewis-topia. He built the city up slowly, brick by brick. Then he made musicians.
I'm so going to get in trouble. And I have to edit this out.
And songs for them to play. He talked about starting a band. And he was always humming something. Every day his imagination grew stronger. He no longer spoke at the cannery. But his chopping was as reliable as ever. Then one day it struck him. That all the cheering crowds, even the stones under his feet, were all in his imagination. so he could do whatever he wished. He held an election for mayor.
But he's only one running.
And he won. They begged him to stay, but his mind was already wandering. It became a game for him. He'd conquer a city, then immediately push on. New Louisville.
I can't do both. I can't do
St. Louis.
St. Louis.
He started drifting away from our reality.
Oh. Oh.
Minneapolis, until one day he forgot to go home from the cannery. Even as his mother pleaded with him, part of Louis kept sailing on.
Mom, go away. No, Ma.
In Louisburg, he heard rumors of a...
We'll do a handsome queen.
Handsome queen. The queen was on her own quest for...
Radiant rainbows.
Radiant rainbows.
Rainbows. Because I knocked it over.
He followed the sound of her... Electric sitar.
Sitar. Yep, I'm so really enjoying this.
His chase led him to a golden palace east of the sun and west of the moon. Even then, his logic remained sound. He knew the world was all in his imagination.
Cannot. See what I'm doing?
But he was so proud of having created it. In his own eyes, he'd become something greater than a king. For someone who'd never known success in the real world, I think it was overwhelming.
Yeah.
And then it struck him that the real Louis was not the one chopping salmon, but the one climbing the steps of a golden palace. My imagination is as real as my body, he told me. It was hard to argue with him. He began to forget the world we know. I think it pained him to remember Louis, the cannery worker. He began to despise the man with a royal contempt.
You know there's no fish, right?
I still thought I could save him. Even after he said he was being crowned king over all the lands of wonder. The palace would be packed with his companions.
He's not chopping fish, he's just moving his hand.
Including the wise Calico who'd insisted on inviting him.
Molly.
How long are faces? He has so much trouble around his
His queen waited, holding his crown. There was only one thing left to do. Bend down his head. The rest I think you know. Mrs. Finch, your son was a kind man who will be missed by all of us who knew him.
My brother was really cool. I wish you could have met him.
Cannery? Oh, his... glove? Or knight thingy? No. Oh, wait, I do have to go back in there. Never mind.
On the way back from Lewis's funeral, my mom told me to start packing. She waited until the day before we left to tell Edie. I'm not sure if she wanted to make it easier or harder. I wish we'd stayed. But I understand why we left.
Edith, Mom.
My mom ended up leaving everything behind.
I can see that. Sanjay. To teach, to learn.
What happened that night had been coming for a long time. Maybe I should have come sooner.
Birds are a common symbol.
But it had to end one way or another. All that's left now is to tell you about that last night.
Alright. I think we might finish it. I think this might be the end of it. There you go.
That whole last day, Edie just watched us pack and didn't say a word. Until supper, when she raised her glass and said,
"To our final night together, and all our final nights apart."
Grandma, you know what I said about alcohol. Some of your medications are very
Edith,
specific.
I left a present for you in the hallway. Why don't you go open it? The grown-ups have to argue now.
I'm sorry, you're right. We're all leaving tomorrow. Let's just enjoy our last...
I'm not leaving.
Edith, you're excused.
Rude, Mom.
The power had been shut off that morning, but Edie always had plenty of candles. When my mom sealed the library, I don't think she knew about the other entrance. Or that Edie had a key to it.
That thing you're afraid of isn't going to end when you leave the house. Edith has a right to know these stories.
My children are dead because of your stories. I think it's best if Edith and I leave tonight. We'll have the nursing home send a van for you in the morning. Okay?
History of the Finches. By
Dear
Edith
Finch, there's so many stories I wish I could tell you, but there's only time for one. This is about what happened on the night you were born. That night, the tide went way, way out. It was the first and last time I ever saw the old house aground. There'd been an earthquake out in the middle of the ocean. They called it the lowest tide in 1,000 years. God, it smelled awful. You know, I've seen that house every day of my life. But I never thought I'd go back to it. When the fog rolled in, I lost my way. I got turned around. For a while, I wandered.
It's one thing you can do in this storm.
I started seeing things.
The deer. Had to shoot it.
Things I'd forgotten had ever existed. But when I saw them, they felt like old friends. That night, a lot of things came back to me. Or maybe I came back to them. Things I can't explain, but that I need you to try and...
Edith, what are you doing in here?
It's mine.
Edith!
Mom, you're gonna rip it! Let go! I kicked and screamed, but Mom dragged me to the car. I never saw Great-Grandma Edie again. The next morning, the van came to pick her up, but she was already gone. After that, we moved around a lot. We both tried to make the best of it. A few years went by. My mom didn't like to talk about it. But she started getting sick a lot. The rest happened pretty quickly. She got better for a while, and then she didn't. And then I was alone.
I think we're reaching the end.
The last
We're
Finch
reaching
left
the end.
alive.
Who's ever watching now? Reaching the end.
Until I found out about you. I'm still not sure what to tell you about all this. If we lived forever, maybe we'd have time to understand things.
Part 1 is on my channel.
But as it is, I think the best we can do is try to open our eyes.
See what the end entails.
And appreciate how strange and brief all of this is.
Alright, we're going through.
This journal was supposed to be for you. But now I hope you'll never see it. I just want to meet you and tell you all these stories myself. But I guess if you're reading this now, things didn't work out that way.
Oh no.
This is where your story begins. I'm sorry I won't be there to see it. It's a lot to ask.
Oh, his mom.
But I don't want you to be sad that I'm gone. I want you to be amazed that any of us ever had a chance to be here at all. Good luck.
Well, it's the end. That's all of it. We finished it. Alright. That was fun. See you guys later.